Good evening and welcome to Side21 and tonight's episode of The Black Hand of Fate. If this is your first time joining us on this series, this is our evil campaign. Our players are not necessarily playing the good guys this time around. On that note, let's go ahead and introduce our players.
My name is Jason. I'm playing Shetic, your Fey-touched wizard necromancer.
I'm Brayden. I'm playing Damian Grimbane, the damn pure fighter.
Hi, I'm Aaron Hammontre, and I'm playing Bojack Horse Puncher, a dwarf barbarian.
I'm Jaco, and I'm playing Timber 2, the Tabaxi Ranger turned rogue.
I'm Hunter Douglas, and I'm playing Elliot Crowe, the reborn warlock.
Alrighty, I want to give a quick shout out for that new artwork, Ray from Space on Instagram. Much appreciated. While you're checking out his Instagram, make sure you check out @Side21TV. We're also on Blue Sky and TikTok and would love to connect with you there as well. We do have a brand new Discord as well, so check that out and join up. You can post all sorts of stuff, talk about the campaign, post pets, recipes, all those things. And I believe that concludes our announcements for tonight. So let's go ahead and jump in to tonight's episode of The Black Hand of Fate. Alrighty. Where last we left off, our party successfully infiltrated the dungeon, the basement, the interesting jungle space that was located beneath the temple of Rilifane Ralathil, where they found some contention. They met some manticores, they met the Skeletrex, the ancient bone skeleton of what looked like a Tyrannosaurus Rex. Must have been from a far past time here in Faerun.
And dude got his ass zapped.
After some intense combat, including some very well-placed spell work by one Shetic Bonecaller, and some unconscious allies in the form of Bojack, Horse Puncher, and Damian, nevertheless, victory was realized, a single key was procured, and some planning took place afterward in the Sanctum Spire, the extra-dimensional space from Elliot Crowe. After making some decisions, knocking out Bojack so he couldn't be a part of any of them, and taking a long rest, and also Elliot seeing some further pieces of what is his history or some version of a part of his mind that seems to have been locked away. However, the sun did not rise the following day as you awoke to the sound of a heavy downpour taking place outside over the city of High Moon. But you broke off into a couple of groups. Bojack and Shetic made their way to the castle ward, where they were able to gather some information about the locations of the other two temples that exist here in the city of High Moon, possibly revealing the locations that they may find some things that they need. Damian set off alone into the pouring rain through the east gate of the city of High Moon, and is now kind of walking towards the forest and river that exists just outside. And lastly, we had Timber and Elliot making their way down to the Elven Gardens district of High Moon and standing in front of the temple here of what appears to be Mithrian Serath. And that is where we're going to pick up. So Elliot and Timber, you find yourselves standing here in this beautifully ornate, although very wet district of High Moon, surrounded by clearly very elven architecture, and standing in front of a fountain and two wide curved staircases that lead up on either side of the fountain into this temple. What are the two of you doing?
Remind me, what time of day is it right now?
It is pretty early morning. You guys took a early night after handling your business at the previous temple, discussed and awoke pretty early. So I'd say it's around 9 in the morning right now, if you had to
Okay.
guess. Hard to just can't really see the sun in the sky, but
Well, I look over at Elliot and I say, well, you want to go in, do some further recon?
I don't see a key out here.
All right, so I make my way inside of the temple.
Let me go as well.
all right. You guys make your way up the staircase, and again, this is a pretty low energy day. It seems like from everything that you've seen, like the streets have been fairly busy, but everybody seems to be keeping to the indoors right now as the rain is fairly torrential. As you guys make your way into the threshold, there's these big wooden double doors that are left open as the temple is during operating hours at the moment. As you walk in, you step in, the rain is finally no longer falling on you, but your cloaks are definitely dripping water on the floor. You see a cleric run up to you guys. It's a elven man, appears to be fairly elderly, so very, very old. And he says to you, "Oh, hello. Welcome to the Temple of Mithrian Sarath. You are getting water all over my floor. Please step this way." And he kind of starts to direct you off to the left. And he motions and he says, you may hang your coats here. We don't want the water dripping on our beautiful hardwoods here, please. He's kind of motioning you for to take your cloaks off.
I'll take my cloak off. Which I have my alter self up since this morning, so it doesn't look like a black tattered coat, and it looks like a dark brown, like put together, not holes.
And he goes on. Thank you very much. Have you been here before?
This is our first time.
Fantastic. Are you followers of our Lord Sarath?
We're exploring different faiths.
Fantastic. Well, we certainly appreciate you coming to see our temple here. We are very proud of it. You may notice that it's broken into 3 chambers. In the very rear chamber, you will find the temple proper, where if you wish to pray or take moments of solace to yourselves, you can find that. To the left side here will be the library. We have lots of documents relating to the study of Mithrian Sarath and just general knowledge. And to the right, you will find the offices of the clerics here. There are, if you would care to make a donation, you can find our donation box over there. And if there's not anything else, I have some studies to get to, but just make yourselves at home and let us know if you have any questions. Thank you.
Thank you. What was your name again?
Arendelle.
Arendelle. Thank you very much. We'll let you know.
And he kind of moves off towards the chamber to the right. But if you guys make like a little perception check for me here.
Okay. First roll. Let's go.
23.
Not bad.
19.
Nice.
Fair. So you guys begin to kind of look around this space, and you can see, as the architecture may have given away, the interior is kind of designed with the deity in which worship happens here. It's got the 3 kind of circular spaces, being what looks to be the library to the right. You can't quite see back beyond. There's some like large columns that look like they're kind of structurally necessary, kind of holding up the large beamed ceiling overhead. But as he said, there is a temple area in the back, and you see some kind of, it's a more closed off area on the right side. It's got like a wall in the front of it that's got like several office doors along like a curved kind of wall, like closing off the circle to the right.
Kind of like motion, like gesture towards the library section to Timber and start walking that way.
And I start walking towards the temple proper in the back.
Okay. Cool.
Perfect. So you guys split up within this temple and are going to investigate these individual areas. Timber, you move to the left side here, and you can see what looks to be a very typical kind of library. There's some areas along the walls and in the corners that have tables and chairs. You can see there at one of them is a couple of elven gentlemen that are like poring over a text and look like they're comparing notes with each other. The other table looks unoccupied, but a lantern is kind of like flickering, casting light on that area. It is a little bit dark in here. It looks like natural lighting is the main source of lighting in this space, so it's got kind of a diminished light source with the rain going on outside. But yeah, that's what you see over there. Elliot, in the back, you kind of make your way into the middle and start to get a view of the back space that's not obscured by these structural pillars. And you can see these...
Switched, though. I went to the library, and Timber went to the...
My bad.
Oh, okay. But yeah, same
so
information.
That's what you saw in the library.
For sure.
Timber,
Okay.
yeah, you see rows of very ornately carved dark wooden pews, and it's kind of reminiscent of the temple to Rilithane Ralithil. It's got a large stone statue of what you can only assume is Mithrian Sarath. And the pews kind of lead out in a circular fashion away from that, and you can see like there's some flowers and coins that have been left at the base of the statue.
I walk in and like walk towards. Is there anyone else in the room here?
There's not. The only people that either of you have seen are those two guys and the original cleric, the two studying in the library, and then the cleric that greeted you.
Oh, okay. So
It is early and pouring rain, so you think maybe that has something to do with it.
So I want to walk, kind of like, checking my shoulder, halfway sneaky-ish, but I want to go check out the statue, because the last temple, the doorway was in the back of the statue, so I want to go look at that statue.
Yeah, so you move to the back of the room and kind of circle around. There is a small space behind the statue. It's not as far off from the wall as it was in the tree temple, but you notice that there's really nothing. You don't see any doorways or entrances. It's just kind of a bare floor behind the statue and between it and the wall, and it's more of a narrow space.
Okay. All right, well, can I just do one solid look around the room for anything that seems just off?
For sure, make an investigation check.
Any restricted sections?
Any restricted sections?
Look for any hidden doorways, passageways, obscured
25.
entrances. With a 25, you take a solid 60 seconds, and you're with your cat-like eyes scanning each part of this room. You look amongst the pews, you look up and down from the base of the statue to the top of its head, looking for any sign of anything that could be manipulated or is out of place. And you are certain almost at this point with a 25 that this is a pretty above board room as far as having secrets.
Okay, well then I'm just gonna pick up a piece of gold off the floor and walk out towards the library.
Yeah, you are in an empty room. So.
Yeah.
As you reach down, I will say you do find what you think is a piece of gold. You do pick up and realize it's a copper.
Then I throw it at the statue, and I say, "Tell me your secrets," and then I just walk out.
Ting, 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 ting.
Indeed.
In the library, I want to kind of, if those two guys are just kind of enveloped in what they're doing, I want to kind of scan these books and just see if I can gather any order to them and see if I can find one about underdark religions. Maybe I'm looking for some more information on Lolth, if I can find it.
Make a investigation check.
All right. 24.
With a 24, you are scanning these shelves, and with a check that good, I think you begin to realize that, and maybe playing into kind of the reception that you received from the shopkeeper in the market district, there seems to be nothing here related to drow, including deities. Mostly what you're seeing is either historical records of other temples, you find like a book on, the history of archmages in service to Mithrian Sarath. You find things about a Mythal, and like it's like the story of when that knowledge was passed down to mortal mages from Mithrian Sarath himself. But yeah, I mean, there is not a single text related to the Underdark or Drow or anything adjacent.
Okay. I wanna
Almost as if it were deliberately
left out. Yeah.
left out.
For sure. That's great enough. I want to take this Mithrian book, the one that you're talking about, like where the magic was kind of passed down to people. I'm just kind of, as long as those guys are enveloped in what they're doing, just slip it into my.
Make a sleight of hand check.
6.
With a 6, I will say that as you kind of slip it into your bag, this section where you're grabbing this book is within line of sight, and you hear a voice as you're kind of like looking down. Please, you're welcome to study here, but we do ask that the texts remain in the temple.
I apologize. I was just gonna take it to the common room. Just hold it for a
Timber
second.
hears
kinda
this and he
flip through
goes. Timber hears this and goes, "Ooh, you got caught."
I didn't get caught. I wasn't doing anything wrong.
I think your elven appearance definitely contributes to your credibility in this scenario. Oh, very well.
Kind of flip through it, act like I'm looking at something, just set it back. I'm gonna walk up.
They go back to doing whatever they're doing.
Walk up to Timber. Did you see anything?
No, there's nothing in the prayer room. Did you find anything in the library? Any doorway or anything?
No.
You didn't look.
I looked. There was literally no doors.
You didn't look. All right. Well, I
look.
guess the offices.
Yeah, we can go check there. So we walk over there, kind of look back and at the library and see if there's any doors.
Make a perception check.
10.
You don't see anything standing out.
Okay.
Looks like just some rows of shelving and bookshelves and a few tables, low lighting. It's very quiet.
So how many doors to the offices? Like, how many offices are on this wall?
You guys make your way back into the kind of center area where, picture like a Venn diagram. You're in like the middle where all the circles intertwine with each other. And you're kind of looking over. You see the curved wall that like forms this outside wall of the circular space, and you see 3 doors set into it.
Okay. I walk up to the center door and open it. Barge in, like I own the place.
Oh, jeez.
As you reach down and grab the door, it is locked.
Well then I'm gonna go try one of the other ones.
Which?
The left.
Just kind of
as
like be
you-
on lookout and make sure we're not like, he's not just like,
Yeah, I will say in this space, like your perception checks kind of hold. Again, just it's a quiet morning here in the temple. As you try the left door, Timber, it does indeed open, and you see before you as you open this room, kind of a small office, and you see Arundel, the cleric that greeted you, just turn around. Oh, hello. Can I help you?
Oh, sorry, my dear sir. I was just looking for the loo. I was wondering if you could help me find it.
Oh, there's a tavern, a few doors down.
Oh, I just didn't want to interrupt my prayer to go that far for the bathroom. I was wondering if you could help me.
Make a deception check.
All right.
In your head, you hear, you didn't have that god awful accent a second ago.
22, boy.
Well, the 22 is just kind of narrow his eyes at you a little bit and say, right, well, good luck.
So what are you doing in here?
I'm gonna reach up and close the door. Excuse us.
Nods and turns back to his work.
Oh my gosh.
You know, people think you're gonna think you're making fun of them. We're gonna get us in trouble doing that kind of shit.
Did I see any like other door, or is it just a one room in there when I barged in?
You did not see another door.
Okay. Well then I'm gonna go try the one on the right.
And I will say at this time, Arundel, as you are walking back over towards the far right door, Arundel emerges from his office and goes to kind of stand at a small lectern, kind of podium type thing that looks like it's meant for somebody to stand out to greet people that are entering.
He's keeping watch of us. And I look over at Elliot and I say, well, what are you trying to do here?
Do you want to go to that tavern so you can go to the loo?
No, I'll hold it.
Alright, well, let's maybe go. From where he is, so what can he see kind of in his line of sight from where he's at? Like the whole everywhere? Or is it?
He's standing almost directly in the center of the space. And I mean, there are columns that are gonna break his line of sight, but from this space he can at least see partially in each section. You would think.
Okay. What's in that door? Did you already try that one?
I haven't tried the one on the right. The center one's locked. So I want to go try the one on the right.
Make a stealth check.
I love stealth checks. Oh, no I don't. 16.
Oh.
Oh no,
with
a 16.
You go to try this door handle, and you're kind of you got your back to it, and you kind of got your little paw around behind your back, and he says, excuse me. Again, if you need the restroom, please go to the tavern. This is just our offices, and they are not open to the public. So if you don't mind.
Oh, thought you
I'm
meant.
sure there's nothing else I can help the two of you with.
Thought you meant a couple doors down, like this door. Apologize. Come on.
No tavern in the temple.
Wouldn't that be a good temple? Or, that makes sense.
Where the two of you say you were from? I haven't seen you.
We've got to get going. Come on. Thank you for everything.
Mm-hmm.
Start walking towards the exit.
And I say, well, I was actually born as a little kitten here in the Elven Gardens way back when. You wouldn't even know anything about that. And I just hang out in the alleyways, really. I'm kind of like a street cat, be by myself. But I was wondering if you knew anything about keys.
Real quick, above the table, are you telling these elves that they're too young to know you when you were a kid?
Yes, I am.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
Young sir. Had you existed in this district for any more than a year or two, certainly I would have seen you before. As for keys, this is a temple of Mithrian Seraph. I can help you in the study and prayer to our god. Other than that, I am not sure I have the information you're looking for. Perhaps you two might go check out the Pointed Pint. I wouldn't want you to injure yourself waiting for the bathroom too much longer.
Well,
he's taken on definitely a more stern tone with you at this point.
And I say, no need to get hasty. I was just curious about the temple. We will go to the tavern. Good day, good sir. I love you. Bye.
Good day.
I'll kind of just like wait by the exit, and if you walk out, I'll look back to Arendelle. And in Elvish, I'll say, truly apologize for all this. Thank you for everything. And then walk out with him.
And I also say in Elvish, yes, truly apologize. And I just leave.
Well, that was fucking great.
Yeah, you really screwed the pooch on
I
that
didn't
one.
No, shut up. Kind of make my way towards like the side of the building where the offices are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You think there might be something in this office? You said one was locked, right?
Is there a window?
There doesn't appear to be any exterior windows as you work your way around the side to where the offices are. And I will say, when you guys were inside, the windows were, it's like they were part of the upper, the roof structure. So the roof, like, it has its little domes, but then it also has like, it cascades up to a straight wall, and that's where the windows were that typically you imagined where most of the light in the interior was coming from. Doesn't appear to be any windows on the walls until it gets up there.
So there's no reason for me to believe that the office has windows?
The one that you went in, you didn't see any, and you're looking now at the exterior and you're not seeing any, so.
Okay.
I could get us in and out of one of the offices, but if there's nothing in there, it's fucking pointless.
I mean, the center one, I feel like might be our best bet.
Let's try it out. And I'll hold out my hand to him.
All right, let's do it.
It's a dimension door.
And I go,
all right.
teamwork.
As you guys, actually, I mean, I think I need you to make a check here.
Okay.
Elliot. Because I know you can dimension door to an area, but you're really kind of estimating here because you're on the outside. Like, you're not sure how big the left office was.
Not
you know
familiar
what I mean?
with the room, yeah.
So what check would I have you make for that? That's interesting. Give me a second here.
Arcana, so he doesn't implant himself in a wall.
I was thinking Arcana was definitely going to be maybe one, unless I can find something I feel like is better.
Dexterity to commando roll away from the wall.
Yeah, we'll say make an Arcana check here.
Alrighty. 17.
I think a 17, you're good. Yeah. So, you guys disapparate from the exterior here, and you fade into a dark office. Timber, you kind of recognize immediately, and I think you probably got a peek in there as well as you were pulling him out and shutting the door and everything, but this looks pretty identical to the office that Arendelle was in. However, darkened, you see that there are some, like, a couple bookshelves that aren't filled with books, but they've got a few texts on them and like a small desk. Yeah, a couple chairs.
Can I start do perception if there's any like trap door on the floor or something?
Make an investigation check.
I'm gonna honestly help with that too.
Weird.
Yeah, you do it. I rolled in that one, so 10.
Guidance myself while I do it.
I was looking at the ceiling.
Ooh, natural 20.
Oh, nice.
25.
With a natural 20, looking over this space, you kind of, move a couple of the books, look behind, see if any bookshelves start moving when you manipulate the text. But with a natural 20, I would say that you share the confidence that Timber had. There's nothing here. At least nothing that you can see.
I'll say with message to Timber, really wish we had Shetic's little do whatever I want spell for that guy out there.
Well, at least we know now that the third office might be the best bet.
Yeah.
So portal us through this wall here, and we'll go in there.
All right, give me a second. Can we? I want to put my ear against the wall, where I know in relation to it is where that third office is, and kind of just hear if I can hear any, if it's vacant or being used or.
Make a perception check. I will say this is gonna be a pretty high DC with the stone wall and the rain.
Yeah, true. 8. I don't hear anything over there.
Just the rain.
You look real cool doing it, though.
Appreciate that. Give me a second though, and I'll just kind of kneel down to my my shadow and do my my cunning. What's it called? Magical cunning, where I get my spell slot back, which just takes a minute.
Sweet.
All right, let's go. I just kind of grab him by the scruff and.
All right, and you guys appear back kind of in between the right, if you were facing the temple, the right staircase and the wall of ivy that exists to the right of the temple. And we are going to jump over now to Bojack and Shetic Bonecaller. You guys just left the Duke's Ledger, one of the taverns run by a halfling man here in the Castle Ward. He let you know that just to the north of the Tablets of Fate, you could find the Temple of Saloon, and somewhere in the Elven Gardens, the Temple of Mithrian Sarath. What are you two doing?
Well, if my notes are right, I can tell you what Bojack isn't doing, and that's talking.
I am just staring at him.
And I look at little man, I like you like this. You should try this more often.
I'm just waiting on Bojack to stab you in the kidney.
Just a little while longer, little one. I promise you, I'm not going to keep you quiet all day. I can actually be pretty funny too. Have you ever seen a mind goblin? Yeah, you don't get it. Maybe we should go check out this saloon. What do you think?
Vigorous head nodding, just.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, and I'm going to drop the concentration on that. Can you keep quiet? Can you at least give me 2 seconds before you say what's on your mind? Can you do that for the rest of the day? You can talk now. I
know.
It.
No, I know. But you see Bojack thinking really hard about
yeah. You see him smile. You see Shetic just for the first time since you've known him, you see him smile a little.
And you're like, and he kind of just is like, I guess I can try. it's a little lower, just I guess.
And it's Shetic, you're looking down on him, and there's water dripping from his you guys are soaked out here, standing outside having this conversation.
Sick. That's fine.
I will say the rain is a bit much today.
Yeah, but we're already in it. Do you want to go to the temple?
Aye, after you. You made the plan, boss.
Where is Damian there? What are you? I guess you're not with me, so I wouldn't know. Yeah, we're gonna head down to Saloon, the Temple of Saloon, maybe. And while we're doing that, I want to kind of rack my brain of anything that I might know about Saloon.
Make a history check or religion, your choice. Actually, it's probably religion.
Okay, well, sweet, because that history check was kind of dookie. 18.
Right. Yeah. So you know some stuff about Saloon. and let me tell you what that is. You know that Saloon is a goddess of the moon in the Faerunian pantheon, not specific to elvish deities like Mithri and Serath. Also known as the Moon Maiden, the Night White Lady, or Our Lady of Silver. She is kind of the goddess of the moon and stars, people who are into navigation, seekers, and even a whole race called lycanthropes, typically followers of this deity.
While we're walking, can I keep my eyes out? I'd like to keep my head on a swivel for other pesky asshole gods.
Yeah, make a perception check.
At first, I thought you said gods. And I was like, oh,
Guards. Gods!
they're pesky asshole gods.
That's a terrible roll. I got a 10.
With a 10, you guys are kind of experiencing a similar vibe that Timber and Elliot got in the Elven Gardens. Everybody is kind of indoors. Even with a 10, though, you can see that there are definitely patrols of guards. They're kind of look like they're in twos, and I'll say that even with that roll, the guards do not look thrilled to be on patrol today. Nobody seems to be paying you too much of a mind at the moment, though.
Cool. Cool.
Yeah, I mean, I'm planning on just getting to the temple without incident, hopefully. I mean, I'll kill someone if I have to, but...
Oh, we know.
Yeah, if you say that out loud, Bojack like happily cracks his knuckles. Otherwise, he's just like, the faster we move, the quicker we stop being wet.
I hear him crack his knuckles, and I say, Bojack, I am going to do my best to do the talking here. I'll admit I'm not the most persuasive. I'm not the most deceptive. But I'm willing to bet you are probably worse at both of those than I am.
I'm very intimidating.
If we need... Well, that's my next point. If it comes to intimidation or killing, I think between the two of us, we could manage one or two Cellunites.
It sounds like a plan.
All right, as you guys are walking and talking, you started in the like northeastern corner of the castle ward, and you guys are kind of moving throughout, and you're kind of moving down the main thoroughfare. So as you're walking, you do see several businesses. You see a office supply store, so like paper, scrolls, bookbinding materials, things like that, called A Day's Work. You also come across like a hunting supply store, from what it looks like, called the Marked Target. You see, of course, the castle. You find a smithy. You can hear telltale signs of the ringing of hammer and anvil. And you see a sign hanging called the Griffin's Forge. And eventually, as you round the corner down here, you do see the platform, the huge structure that contains the Tablets of Fate just to your south. And right here, you can see as compared to the size of the tree, a much smaller structure here, but with the absolutely obvious crescent moon hanging from just above the doorway. The structure also is it's similar in design to the structure where the Tablets of Fate were located. It's kind of like white marble, carved columns, things like that.
Okay. All right, little man, let's do this. We're here to study Saloon.
What the hell is Saloon?
Mm-hmm.
Do I ask him that?
No, you don't. Again, try your best. If you have to talk, if it's 100% necessary for you to talk, try to say, I wouldn't even say as few words, as few letters as you can.
How about I'm just your bodyguard, and instead I don't have to say anything at all? I'll just look angry at everyone.
I think looking angry. No, that won't work. How about we're just here to learn about Saloon? Again, the thing about these religious people, they all like to think they're holier than thou, and I kind of smile at that. And but the thing of it is just like me and you and the rest of us, there's some of us that can think quite well, and some of us are the Bojacks.
You accidentally punch a horse to death?
Yes.
Okay, I'll take that. Thank you, sir. And you
And,
see him like little fist pump of like, yes, I'm an accounted for category.
There's the Bojacks of the world. And yeah, I'm ready to step on in. And I'm gonna, as I do it, I don't know, this might be a little too much knowledge, but I'm gonna try to be conscious of how like soaking wet I am, and kind of stand at the door and at least try to wring some water out of my robes before I fully immerse myself in this temple.
Okay, and it's interesting that you say that. As the two of you are making your way up these marble steps in the absolute downpour that is happening right now, I need both of you to make a dexterity saving throw, please. And Shetic, since you're very mindful of the fact that you are soaking wet, let's have yours with advantage.
Sick.
Come on, brothers.
And actually, by my barbarian instincts, I have advantage on dex saves.
Sick. I got an 18.
Nice.
I got a 13.
Okay, I think this is kind of a little bit of a group check here. So Shetic, as you guys are making your way up these marble steps, you see Bojack just like lose like his left foot as he goes to step, just completely slips out, but you're kind of like prepared for this and just grab him like by the back of his cloak and keep him from face planting onto these marble stairs as you guys walk in.
And real quick, just I know I love it that absolutely nobody has acknowledged that I almost killed Bojack last night.
I'm not talking about what last night. I don't know anything what you're talking
He
about.
gets embarrassed when he gets knocked out.
All right. As you guys make your way up the stairs, again, like very marble, pristine. The color white here seems to be very dominant. And as you guys walk inside, you see a simpler space. There are a few rows of pews that are facing to like the left side, and there's no statue, but there is a beautiful piece of art where you see this kind of dark-skinned woman with like long white hair. She's got very light-looking fabric that makes up like kind of almost translucent, like shimmery robes that have been like wonderfully rendered by whoever painted this. And she stands in front of a large depiction of like a full moon in the painting. In like a scene of night, and you can see there's like a little pedestal with a bowl that looks like it maybe for offerings to the temple or the goddess, and beyond that you can see what looks like a small desk and like a library section that's behind the desk in the rear part of this temple.
Is there nobody in here right now that
You
I
don't see a single person in this temple right now.
I'm just gonna say, not loudly, but definitely not like trying to hide my voice or anything. Little one, Cedric, I told you I'm gonna teach you the way of Saloon. Follow me to the library, and I want to walk that way with Bojack kind of telling him like, come with me.
Alrighty.
Cedric.
I look at him and I'm like, Cedric. Oh, right. I.
Wow, really? Hell yeah, dude.
Just
He just went with it. Fuck yeah.
I know I'm not supposed to be like here exactly, so I'm just like, fuck it, sure.
Whatever you say,
we
boss.
ballin'. We ballin'.
All right, we got ourselves a library.
Everybody can see?
Ish.
Yes.
Wonderful. You walk into this space and you see a couple bookshelves flanking you to the left and right. These are very large bookshelves. They dominate the space almost. There's looks like a desk in front of you where somebody at some point may hold office. And you can see like a little break in the shelves that leads to an area behind.
Oh god, it's a desk.
About what time of day is this? Because I know I have a meeting with Damian this evening, so I just want to make sure we're good on time.
This is happening at the same time as what is going on in the Elven Gardens, and even so outside where we haven't gotten to yet. But so it's still early morning. Like,
Okay, cool.
you guys left your home around like 9 a.m. So less. Cool. I would say maybe an hour to an hour and a half has passed since then.
Perfect. Yeah, because I want to investigate these walls pretty thoroughly, like all the books. I'm gonna tell Bojack, Cedric, you're soaking wet. Don't touch any books. That'll bring unwanted attention potentially. And I feel for now, at least until we're ready for our end goal, discretion is key.
So you see Bojack reach a hand up and grab his like beard and squeegee a bunch of water out, and then shake his jowls like a dog, and just go, right, I won't touch anything. I'm glad you can see that roll check to see if I did it or not.
Hell yeah. All right. So I am very meticulously. I just want to examine this library, like every book, just kind of walk down. I'm not putting my hands on every single one. I'm not like pulling everything out of the shelves, but I'm certainly like slowly walking up and down the aisles, looking for anything out of place. Definitely
make an investigation check.
Okay.
And
oh no.
And I don't get to look in the mirror very often. I was thinking about looking at these thingies.
I got a 7.
Ruh-roh.
So Bojack, you head back here. Shetic, you're kind of looking amongst the shelves. With a 7, I mean, you find a lot of religious texts, some of which pertain to Saloon, others different deities in the Faerunian pantheon. Nothing is really striking you as something that you need to look at closer. Bojack, as you approach this mirror, you can see that there is a small plaque at its base, and in addition to your beautiful reflection, you see the small plaque at its base, and you see it's like picture like a tissue box, but with a little bit more narrow of a slit that looks like it could fit possibly a coins or something inside of.
I don't think he has any money.
Yep, I was gonna say. So you see Bojack pat all of his pockets, pull out a knife, think about stabbing it into the slot to see if it would trigger. Think better, put it back, and just kind of stand there and stare at myself for a minute.
Perfect.
Then, like after a minute, I'm gonna go try to find Shetic.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how long it took you to do that, how long it's taken me to do what I'm doing, but at some point I'm gonna be heading on the inside of this too. I want to check out this whole area here.
Yeah, so you join Bojack in here. Kind of, he's starting to meet you out, but then you guys kind of meet up here. You're seeing similar things. You see 2 pedestals on either side of the front of the space, both of which have a mirror setting on top of them. They look like they both have plaques. The one to the left has what looks like like a small vase or receptacle that would hold something liquid, whereas the right has that box with the slit. They both do have a plaque that says something, and you can see in the back of this room something that kind of definitely catches your eye is different. There are two arched kind of stained glass windows that depict made in the glass that look like two different sizes of moon. Like they're both crescent moons. The one on the left is very small, but there's the one on the right depicts a crescent moon that's almost takes up the entirety of the moon. And what's odd about these is that there is like beams of light pouring through these windows. It is not a sunny day outside.
Okay. First thing I want to do is I just want to observe my surroundings again and make sure that we're still in this temple, at least in this room, with nobody around.
Make a perception check.
17.
You have not heard or seen anything to give you the idea that there's anyone in here.
That freaks me the fuck out. So the lights are like kind of the light from the windows are both pointing towards the mirrors.
It looks that way.
Are these mirrors bolted to the ground or anything?
Make an investigation check.
Dirty 20.
Hey, Larry, if you want me to move the mirrors, I'm sure I can move the mirrors.
No, please don't.
You said 17.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. So we'll say you kind of walk over to this one. Walk over to this one and begin kind of taking a closer look. I will say that the plaque is in common. It says, "High and low, rise and rescind. Our mother's touch." High and low, rise and recede. Our mother's touch, where land and sea meet. And as you look around the outside, you do see what looks like a crank of some kind. It's like a gear with like a radial axle that goes into the platform itself, and it's got another little like portion that comes out from the wheel of the gear that looks like maybe you could turn it.
Okay. Same thing. I kind of want to come over here and read the plaque and check out what I see around that one.
I won't make you make another investigation check as this is very similar. On the side facing the back of the bookshelf, there is another one of those what look like a crank. And there's no vessel like a vase or a cup here, but it does have what looks like a small box with a slit in the top. And the plaque on this one says, "A deposit made, our mother's metal, of barbs and bells and the fear of devils."
So the left mirror had a vase.
If you guys need to repeat either of those, just let me know.
I have left mirror, high and low, rise or recede, our mother's touch, where land and sea meet. And then on the right, I have a deposit made, our mother's metal, of barbs and bells and fear of the devils, and fear of devils.
All right, and as you two are gleaning a little bit more of what's going on in this space, we are going to go ahead and jump away to the outside of High Moon on the east side. Damian, you have moved out. You passed a group of travelers that were looking for their Ward Weaver patches, speaking to the very light guard that seems to be on gate duty today. You've kind of made your way down this cobblestone pathway, and I'd say you're a good like 500 feet now from the gate, and maybe another 200 to 300 from the bank of the river that's in front of you, and then like maybe another 200 or 300 from what looks like a clump of trees. It's pretty dense. It takes up, it's a good, if you had to estimate the size of this wooded area, it's like a good like at least 500 to 1,000 feet, wide. It's like a tree line for sure. It doesn't take up the entire space between the walls and the river, but it is fairly significant in size. As the map here is not to scale exactly.
Okay. Well, I'm just working my way up the riverbank towards the tower that I previously read about and where we had discussed the night before that I would be heading to investigate.
Okay. It's slow going. The closer that you get to the riverbank, the less solid the soil becomes, the more sandy and prone to being muddy becomes. So you are even just starting to make your way through this grass and stuff. Your boots are getting just absolutely caked in mud. But nevertheless, you are able to make your way kind of along the river line here. Once you kind of cross through here into where this area of the forest is, you do see into the wooded area. It does look a little more dry and such. However, you can continue whichever way you'd like.
So Damian enjoys the rain and the fact that the sun is not shining. So I will stay out in it and continue making my way, but maybe get a little closer to the tree line so that I'm in in more solid soil.
Okay. So you want to kind of just skirt the edge of the woodeds here.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. So I will say it takes you some time to make this trek. You spend maybe the better part of like 30 or 45 minutes getting up to the edge here, and I want to go ahead and have you make a perception check once you get to like this point.
Okay. That'd be a 7.
With a 7, you can't see much, but one thing that is fairly noticeable, even from this distance, is there seems to be a small column of smoke rising, not from within this tower that you're getting a much better view of now, but somewhere around the other side of it outside.
All right. I'm just gonna kind of carefully keep making my way towards the tower and maybe try and get a line of sight on where that smoke is coming from.
Okay, I will say at this point, if you want to, are you trying to kind of be a little stealthier, or are you just trudging forward?
Yeah, no, I'm trying not to get spotted.
Okay, I will say you kind of get the idea, like, stealthiness might be a little more difficult out here in the rain and mud. You kind of look further into the interior of the trees, and I'll say if you'd like to move into the interior of the trees, your stealth check will not be a disadvantage. Outside, it will be.
Would I still have a pretty decent line of sight from inside the trees to what I'm trying to see?
You gather that, it's maybe not from the point of entry, but if you were to move, a little closer to the tower inside the woods, that you would be able to. The trees aren't so close together that it forms a wall necessarily.
Okay, then yeah, I'll move through the trees and kind of make my way towards the tower from there and see what I can see. Try and get a pinpoint on where that smoke is coming from.
All right, make a stealth check for me with no disadvantage. And so, in fact, go ahead and make it with advantage, as you are, pretty obscured here.
25.
Yes.
25 is very good, as you kind of transition from like the muddy, soft soil that exists between the river and wood here, and make your way onto the more like straw and leaves, especially not even dead leaves, but like living leaves that have just fallen from being beat up by the rainfall that's going on right now. And you make your way around to this edge just here, and what you can see now is there is what look like group of about 2 or 3 high moon city guard that seem to be stationed out here at this watchtower. The smoke that you saw, they're under like a small pavilion that exists kind of in front of the entrance to the watchtower, and it looks like one of them is preparing a morning meal. And they are kind of elevated to you, like it's up, the watchtower sits on a little bit of a hill, so you're not getting like a 100% view of them from head to toe, but you're getting just enough. And you can even in the rain now, you can begin to smell like kind of the smell of bacon, which you just kind of smelled this morning when Bojack was eating as much of it as he could.
I stop breathing so that I don't have to smell it. I'm gonna try and look around and see if it looks like everyone is kind of gathered in that one area from, like, at least from what I can see outside, and if there may be a way to get closer to the tower where no one's really around.
So what was your perception check?
No, that was my stealth. My perception was a 7.
A 7. You think that, yeah, maybe if you move around a little bit in the woods, you'll be able to get more of an idea. And you know it's on an elevation, so you're not sure what like the backside of the hill looks like from here. And that's all you can really see from where you're at. But if you'd like to kind of skirt the edge, like maybe towards this direction, you might be able to get a little bit more of an angle.
How tall are the trees?
It looks like old growth. They are fairly large. But make another perception check as you look inward, kind of looking at this forest here.
Look inward, dude.
14.
With a 14, yeah, you see like big, thick trunks, tall trees, and if you remember too, you could kind of barely just see the top of the tower, and it is on a hill, so these trees are pretty tall.
Okay, so
when you first left the city.
Okay, so I want to go up one of the trees and try and get a vantage point to see you.
Okay. So what's your climbing? Oh, you have the boots of spider walking or whatever, right?
I naturally have spider climbing as a dampier.
Oh, okay. It's a different character, I think.
Yeah.
That is a different character.
Yep.
Oh, we have Venek on the slippers.
Yeah, so easily, you're able to make your way into these trees. I will say, as you get about halfway up one of the trunks of the trees, you notice as you're climbing, you're kind of like grabbing. You're walking. You tell me actually. Are you just walking like horizontally up this tree, like avoiding branches, or are you kind of like climbing it like a human?
So I'm trying to stay close to the trunks. You know, I'm not trying to like stick out. So I'd say it's almost more like Spider-Man. Like I got my claws in the trunk and then just like climbing up it, going around branches and stuff.
And that's so appropriate that you'd say that, because as you get about halfway up
I hate that.
this tree, and you go to stick your claws into one of the spaces of the trunk between branches, and then you go to pull it to go to the next one, you're almost like sticking to the tree, and you have to really put in effort to pull your hand away from the tree. And as you pull it back, you look and you can see that there's like webbing like all over your hand as you actually grabbed into the base of a web here. And as you're looking down, you hear the noise behind you. Damian, roll initiative.
All right.
Dun, dun, dun.
Damian!
Oh no.
Oh.
I rolled a natural 1 for an 11.
And that beats an 8. What do? I will say, as you hear this chittering noise from behind you, you turn around and you see a thing.
Butterfly.
I'm gonna drop something on this map for us.
What?
Ah,
The
nice.
size.
Love that.
Wait.
Yeah, just the size.
All right. Yeah. You see a black, massive spider, and it's got creepy like orange hairs coming off of it, and it is perched in this tree, and you can see it's got these 2 pincer like things out in front of it. They're not teeth, right, but they're dripping with this oozy kind of green liquid as it kind of chitters at you. You are first to act.
So it's above me, right? Because you said I turn around, but
So you're in the tree, and it is about at your level. I would say you guys are both, however, in these trees right now, about 30 feet off the ground.
Okay. I'm going to. How far away from me is it? Like, is it in range? Is it further? Like, what?
It is on a trunk that I would say is about 10 feet from you.
About 10 feet from me. Okay. I'm going to release my claws from the tree and like stand horizontal, like on the trunk.
Mm-hmm.
And draw my sword, and I'm going to, I had that talk with Bojack, and I'm just going to get angry, and I'm gonna charge this thing.
He's taking advice from Bojack.
Charging
with my sword drawn and gonna attack it.
So are you taking a leap towards it?
Well, you said it's on a trunk, and or on a branch, and I'm on the trunk, right? So I would imagine, unless
like
I'm
with
wrong,
your height, yeah, you could
I'd be able
probably
to
get
just
a
run across. Or.
Well, it's on a separate tree from you. So
okay.
Yeah,
I was
not
assuming
on, the
it
same
was on a
tree as you.
branch on the same tree as me.
No, it is on a adjacent trunk to you that's about 10 feet away. So if you're standing feet down on the trunk, just like horizontally out, you may be able to get like a reach at it with your blade.
Then yeah, I'll do that.
Okay, roll to hit.
All right.
Come on.
In the back of your head, you hear, "Remember, you make your problems their problems."
So that's only a 7 for the first one.
7 does not hit. You're finding it. It's like there's parts of its like legs and things that are within reach, but it kind of skitters out of the way. Like it withdraws one of its legs as it sees you swing it in that direction. What else?
So it will take 2 points of damage from my graze weapon mastery on that first one. And then the second one is a 14 to hit.
14 just hits.
Nice.
Nice.
That's pretty cool. You get some damage on a miss like that? That's awesome.
And that is going to be 14 damage. Right. And then at that point, I'm going to hear Bojack's words in my head, and I'm going to action surge and swing at it 2 more times.
Okay.
That would be a 14 for the third.
14 hits.
And a 25 for the fourth.
Nice.
Both hit.
Damn.
So that's going to be 9 damage and 8 damage.
All right, it is looking fairly rough as you connect with it 3 times in this. You're reaching. This is such a cool visual to me. Like you're horizontally out from this tree, like fighting a spider, where most people would fall to 30 feet to the ground. You are stationary in your position there. Anything else?
Nope. At that point, I'm just going to ready my sword and look at it, bare my fangs, and hiss at it and get ready.
All right. It is going to take a multi-attack against you. The first attack, you see it rear back, and the fangs, the mandibles that are coming from its face kind of lift and reveal this crazy looking mouth with all these like tiny teeth in it, and you hear it kind of and it spits out at you with a web. That is going to be a 15 to hit.
That is my AC. That hits.
All right. You are basically, a web shoots out at you and kind of covers your body and sticks you. It pushes you back even like into a parallel stance with the tree and restrains you against the tree.
Ew.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
It's a web. You will be able to make a check against this on your turn, but it is going to go ahead and bite you now that you are restrained. That, however, is just a 9 to hit, which I'm assuming is going to miss you.
That misses.
And it's your turn. Go ahead and make a strength saving throw for me.
A strength saving throw. Okay. That is going to be a 23.
23 does it. Yeah, you're able to summon your inner Bojack and rip your shoulders free as they were stuck behind you to the trunk of this tree and kind of fall back down into your horizontal position. And you can go ahead and take your turn.
Yeah, so at this point, I'm going to take both my attacks, and as I take them, I'm once again going to summon my inner Bojack and just scream at it. 23 for the first one.
Yes, sir.
And a 19 for the second one.
Both hit.
Let's go.
You kind of catch the soft underbelly of this arachnid.
So that is a 12 for the first attack and an 8 for the second.
With 20 additional points of damage, how do you finish this guy off?
Yes.
Nice.
So with the first one, I want to just kind of cut off one of its a portion of its leg that's closest to me, and then I will grab my sword with both hands and just impale it straight through one of its eyes.
And as your blade, the leg falls to 30 feet to the forest floor below you, and as your blade goes into this eye, you hear the sickening squish sound, and the eyeball bursts at the end of your blade, and you see both the jelly from one of this creature's many eyes, mixed with this kind of green black Icarus fluid that's just pouring from that eye, and kind of chitters at you one more time, and the whole body of this giant spider falls to the forest floor. As it hits, you hear it land in the straw, and it crunches a few dead leaves that are there indeed as well. And as combat comes to the end, you can hear the sounds of more chittering, as many creatures seem to have taken notice of your presence here. What do you do?
Glad I'm there.
I'm gonna quickly glance around to see if I can see where those other sounds are coming from, and then as quickly as I can start making my way down the tree that won't cause me any damage.
Okay, make a perception check.
All right.
Free action cry.
10.
With a 10, you are not sure. It sounds like you hear chittering off to the left and the right and above you and below you.
All right, then with that, I'm just gonna proceed my way down the tree as fast as possible without straight just falling.
Great, yeah. You scramble down the tree. You come down. You're at the base now. You see this bleeding spider lying there, one leg kind of off to the side of its main body.
I want to stab it one more time. And then make my way towards the edge of the tree line and more towards the tower.
Okay.
And then
I will say this, as you are moving from the giant spider back towards more of the tree line, you hear, Darrington, get down here. Something's going on in the woods.
With that, I'm going to sheath my sword and run straight towards the guards, looking frantic and frightened.
Okay.
Oh God.
Okay. So yeah, you burst through the tree line here, looking terrified. You see the 3 guards out under the pavilion, and you see that one of them that was not cooking has the door, looks like, to this tower held open with the knob in his hand, and was shouting up into the keep.
After I get out of the tree line, I want to kind of slow my approach, and I want to kind of yell out to the guards, please help. There's many creatures after me. I was trying to make my way to this tower, and I thought it would be quicker and drier through the woods. There's terribly large spiders in there.
One of them kind of shouts out toward you. Stay back there. Don't come any closer. What are you doing out in the woods this time anyway?
I instantly stop, and I'm not like putting my hands up, but kind of keeping them visible. As I said, I was trying to make my way towards this tower. I read a book just recently. I'm new to town, and I heard there were mines here, and then some construction started, and I wanted to see, and I thought it would be quicker and drier if I cut through the woods.
Well, that was very foolish of you. This is a City of High Moon watchtower. It's not open to the public. Any mines that existed here before, none of you concern. Let us escort you back to the city. You shouldn't be out here in the rain, especially not in the wood. It's not safe.
Thank you, sir. The book I was reading did not mention that this was a god tower. It just said that there was construction started.
Well, all right then. Make a deception check.
All right. I have advantage. 12.
With a 12, this is...
Can I also be pulling the book out and trying to like find where I read that?
Roll with advantage.
I already naturally have advantage on deception, so.
Okay. So yeah, you're pointing to the book. He's like, listen, I don't know what the hell you're doing out here. It's pouring rain this early in the morning without an escort. You're liable to be poisoned. Just follow me back to the city and be mindful of your safety going forward. If you'd like to schedule a tour of the tower, maybe you could work something out with the administration of the city. I don't know. And he starts to kind of skirt the edge of the woods, and he says, you two, points back to 2 other, they have like a couple crossbows in their hands. You'll clear the edge of the woods, make sure there beasts aren't trying to make their way out here. And he begins to escort you along the riverbank back to the city.
As he does, I kind of want to give him my, like, put the book away and kind of like go to hand him my patch, and then I'll say, I killed one of those foul beasts, but many more seems to be coming after me. So I hope the best for your men.
That's nothing they haven't seen before. You must be quite capable to have handled one of those creatures.
Well, I've had some training and spent some time traveling. As I said, I've only recently arrived here. I come from the oh no, the high elf city of Everesca.
He looks at you. Yeah, I'm sure you do. As far as your patch, save it for the guards at the gates. And
Very well.
Once you guys get back to he like spends the next like 20 minutes walking with you, and he's kind of moving at a quicker pace than you were approaching here. So you guys get down there, and once you reach the cobblestones, he says, "All right, I think you can make your way from here. Let's be a little more careful next time."
Absolutely, much appreciated.
And as you kind of find yourself back here in the front of the gates, we will jump back over to Timber and Elliot. What are you guys doing?
We bamfing into the next room.
Oh yeah, we're in the
Holding by
next room.
scruff.
Bam!
to the third office.
So you can teleport again, even though you did it in and out.
I only did it in, and so I'm doing it to the next room.
Oh.
We went from outside to in the middle office that was locked, that was dark, and then we're going from that office to the office that we don't know about yet.
Okay. I thought for some reason I thought you came back out and that we're asking about the windows. That must have been before you went in.
Yeah, that was before.
Okay, and no Arcana check needed this time. You guys into the next office, and it appears pretty similar. Go ahead and make a perception check.
All right.
23.
22.
Yeah, you guys. This is the third room you've seen that looks like this. You kind of have a better idea if something were out of place, where it might be located, and you are in the office of a cleric that does not appear to have any kind of hidden doorways, movable shelves, secret hatches. Just an empty office.
Well, another fucking bust.
How well did you search that library?
I kind of just I'm looking around the room. I slow turn down to look at him. Better than you would have.
Less and less good every time.
Well, I searched. Well, we shouldn't have this conversation in here. Let's get back outside. Yeah, let's get back outside.
All right, hold on. I'm gonna go to the desk and kind of just see if I can find any money. Just strictly looking for money.
Yeah, make an investigation check.
I was holding some snack buns or something. 7.
With a 7, I think even with a 7, this is something you would find. There's nothing on the desk besides parchment and quill, but there is a locked drawer.
Ooh. Pick it.
It's on the desk. Do you know how desks work?
Can I pick it?
Yeah. Make a dexterity check.
Dex check. That's gonna be a 23.
Everybody's surprised every time when it's a dex check. I don't know why. At 23?
Yeah.
Yeah, easily. This little desk drawer, you spend all of 5 seconds with your pick in the lock, and then you hear the telltale click that is all too familiar of you of the lock disengaging.
And before I open the drawer, I look up at Elliot and I say thank you.
I'm gonna open the drawer.
You kind of reach over the paw and just pull it open, and inside you find what looks like a crumpled piece of paper, and there are 2 platinum.
Dibs.
I'm gonna start to reach for it.
Timber calls dibs.
I'm gonna grab 1 platinum and the piece of paper. I don't have any money, so I need this. Put it in my pocket.
Oh, what happened to all your money?
I'm gonna unravel the piece of paper and read it.
It just looks like it was the start of a letter or something. It's just a couple of lines, and you see the second line is completely scratched out, and it just looks like he gave up on it. Reading it, it looks like it says, "Dearest Eldara, thank you for visiting the temple, and we would," and then it just scratched out. Can't really see the rest.
Just gonna re-crumple it and put it back in there. You ready?
Yeah, let's get out of
If
this
you're not
place.
taking that other one, I am.
I'm taking it for sure.
All right. Close it back and lock it back up, just so it was how we left it, or leave it how it was when we got there. All right, let's go. I'm just gonna grab him by the ear, boom, out to the street outside.
and you all once again find yourselves in the Elven Gardens district
Yeah.
as rain falls from the sky.
And
You guys did not grab your cloaks.
that's what I was about to say. I'm
so
gonna
you guys
run back inside.
You grab your cloak, however, the damage has been done, my friend. You are a soaking wet cat.
Well, that's totally fine, but I want to, when I go inside to get my cloak, I want to take a good look at the windows on the upper part. Like, do they open? How big are they? I want to take a good look.
We forgot our cloaks, excuse us.
And I'll say as you're glancing up, no real roll needed here. They look to be kind of rectangular, short but wide rectangular windows that kind of make their way. And you can kind of see on the map that like there's this raised section here and a couple of like little diamond shapes. And that's kind of where the windows are. They're not on like the ceiling, but they're on the walls of these parts of the roof that like rise up from the base layer of the roof.
Okay. Sweet. All right. So we have our cloaks. I really want to go look at that library one more time, but I'm pretty wet. This guy doesn't like me, so I'm just
that's
gonna...
okay. We can go look again if you really wanted to check that muffin recipe.
Yeah, let's go into the library. Take a look for a book on Sinus or whatever the god is that's here.
Just stop, please. We're just gonna take a look in the library once more, if you don't mind. Thank you.
Make a deception check with disadvantage.
Oh God.
24.
You did not say that.
13.
This is Elliot.
Oh, gotcha.
With a 13, he's gonna say, "Listen, you're getting water everywhere. You're trying to open doors you don't belong in. Do I need to call the guard here? You're coming in and out. Your behavior is a little peculiar. What's going on?
I don't think anything's
You've been in the
going
library
on.
already."
He wasn't in the library. He's the one that wants to look at something. I could stand here if you feel more comfortable.
I think I would prefer that the two of you went on to the tavern for the day. If not, I can have the guard come and we can have a discussion of you all's behavior this morning.
Righto. To
Sure.
the tavern we go.
Thank you. You gather that he was not a fan of you two being in and around trying to open the offices and
Yeah, he had a minute to think about it. I
Timber's
was like, that was actually
typical
kind of weird.
general attitude.
I was looking for the bathroom. It was honest and innocent.
Nothing about you is honest and innocent. Let's go.
I feel like that's a him problem and not a me problem.
Oh, he's definitely racist against people like you.
That's fine. Go ahead. All right, so we want to make our way to the tavern, the pointy tavern that he was talking about.
He told you about I think it was the Pointed Pint.
Pointed pint.
Yes.
We can if you want, or we can try to meet back up with Shetic and Tree Butcher.
Yeah, I'm pretty wet. I'm gonna go to the tavern to get next to a fire, start
All right, let's go.
drying off my fur.
All right, you guys make your way a couple doors down, enter this tavern, the Pointed Pint, are greeted by the bartender, and kind of go over and dry off for a moment. And as you do, we'll jump back to the castle ward. Shetic and Bojack. We are in here.
Okay.
You're not supposed to have the shield. I don't know where that came from.
I don't know. I had it for a while. I thought I honestly missed something. I want to go check out what we got going on up here.
Over there.
Over there. I want to go see what this table-looking thing is from what I'm seeing.
Make a perception or investigation check.
Yeesh. Oh, 8. Fuck.
With an 8, what you see is a kind of pillar, and it's not really a table. It's got kind of like scroll-looking, like masonry attached to like the outsides of the circular short kind of pillar, and there is a image of 2 moons, one smaller and one larger, with like the rays coming out from the edges. Matching the ones on the windows.
Okay. I've been reading what these plaques say for a while, trying to figure it out.
Hold on, are you guys good?
Yeah. Definitely good.
Good.
Not just laughing amongst ourselves.
Do I know, like, what the Selenites would call, like, their mother's medal of barbs and bells? I mean, I know I did pretty good on, like, the history of knowing who Saloon is, but I don't know if that would extend to maybe the finer details of their offerings.
I don't think so, no.
Okay. There's still no one here. Fuck, man. Honestly, I kind of hate that there's no one here to talk to. I'm going to go against everything I've believed in since the minute I met Bojack and heard him open his mouth. And I'm going to go to him and I'm going to say, Bojack, what do you think?
Oh, God.
Well, you told me not to touch nothing, so what did they say?
The one we're standing near said, a deposit made, our mother's medal of barbs and bells and fear of devils.
Well, everything's been made of this blasted white marble. Bloody stone's worthless to work with unless you reinforce it the right way. What's white metal? Silver? You got a silver coin? Toss a silver in it.
I do have a silver. All right, I'm going to put a silver in.
Yeah, as you drop a single silver coin through the slot, you hear it kind of on the base of whatever the interior of this box is, but nothing else happens.
I want to go around to the back of the mirror where I saw that little crank, and I want to try giving it a turn.
As you reach down, it does not move.
Bojack, that was actually a pretty good suggestion, buddy.
I'm gonna put my dagger in the box now.
Okay.
I don't like stab it, but I take it point down and I put my dagger in the see if a dagger will fit in the box slot.
Let's see.
My initial reaction was to stab it. I'm gonna stab it.
I'm just looking at your equipment. Yeah, the dagger fits really well in the slot. However, nothing happens.
I'm gonna look at Shetic and be like, right, well, there was my 2 ideas.
Can I try turning it while his dagger's in there?
You can. It does not move.
Can I go and just try to turn it with a lot of extra force?
Make a strength check.
Right, you blasted crank. Get the hell out of here. I've got a 17.
Nothing.
Nothing. Bam.
This might be pretty stupid, but I have some dirt from a graveyard. I want to put a little bit of that in there. I'm going to sprinkle it on in.
No change.
Mother. Oh. Okay, so...
You guys might have to figure the riddle out.
Yeah, we might have to.
I was so confident and everyone wants to be paid. Who doesn't want to be paid?
Are these like offering boxes? Are they like welded into the base of these mirrors or built into it? Or are they just kind of
they're not welded in, but it appears to be like part of the pillar that's holding the mirror.
So there's no... Alright, I mean, I wouldn't know this. Bojack, try shaking that box and see if you hear anything inside of it.
Right, and now try to shake it.
I mean, it's like part of the pillar. Like, you
Part of
can't
the thing?
shake
Okay.
it. It's like
You see
trying
this
to shake a
little
wall.
dwarf just like wiggle all around this thing, just being like, I shook it, but I think it shook me.
I think I know what needs to be in the other one, maybe, but Bojack, and I grab him by the shoulders. I think you're gonna have to do one of the hardest things you've ever done in your life. Are you ready for this?
No.
We're gonna have to read.
Oh no.
And I'm just gonna slap him across the face, and then I'm gonna go back to investigating the bookshelves.
Okay.
And I'm looking for a book of maybe stories of, like, I don't know, battles for Saloon, anything like that. Potentially any ancient stories of, like, weapons forged in the name of Saloon. I don't know. I'm being a little bit more on the nose before I really start digging into this.
I just will remind you, one of the names that I gave you when you initially asked me what you knew about Saloon was Our Lady of Silver.
I mean, I put a silver in the thing, so it's not that.
Maybe need more silver.
Or both things to happen at the same time.
I mean,
Who knows though?
yeah, who knows? Not Shetic.
I guess let me go look. What's the other blasted plaque say? I mean, you've told me, but my character's finally gonna toddle over and actually look at it.
It says,
himself.
high and low, rise and recede, our mother's touch, where land and sea meet.
Does the verse move? Then can I like pick up the verse thing?
No, again, it's like they were, when these pillars were made, these two objects were
Fixed.
yeah, it's like it was created as a single piece, including those parts of it.
Right.
I think
Should
in
I-
that one we're gonna need like some seawater or sand or something.
I was just gonna say to pee in it. You sure it just doesn't want liquid?
No.
I could pee in it.
Yeah.
It'd be hard.
No, don't think you can.
Okay. Books. I don't want it. Why do it's gotta be books?
Well, with the reminder, and I do have written down the Lady of Silver. I think we're overthinking this, which you know what that's like, overthinking, right?
What's thinking?
Mm-hmm.
Raw instinct.
I think maybe this is something that we confer with the guys a little bit later, and we're not. Worst comes to worst, we may find ourselves in a situation. What if we figure this out and all of a sudden we're put in like some crazy trial?
I would be happy to punch a trial in the face.
I've watched you die like 3 different times.
It doesn't keep me from punching it in the face, though, does it?
For most people, it would.
You want to see what it feels like to be punched in the face? I punch pretty hard. And people don't like it, and that's not a threat, that's an ask. I could punch this mirror. I could punch me in the face.
Punch you in the face, yes. That'd be a good demonstration.
All right, I'm gonna walk up to one of the mirrors and like
Nope,
punch
nope,
the mirror.
Nope.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Okay, fine. I'll go back to not touching stuff.
That's perfect, yes. And let's see. If I were to cast Hex on him. One of the abilities, can I make that attack rolls? Did I give him disadvantage on any attack rolls?
What's the spell say?
I just says choose one ability when you cast a spell. The target has disadvantage on ability checks made with the chosen. So I guess not.
Yeah, negative.
He just said punch the mirror. That immediately put Shetic into like, oh fuck, this dude's about to blow it.
I mean, you won't let me pee on it. You won't let me punch it. I don't know what else you want me to do.
Again, be quiet and don't touch anything.
Sigh.
do 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 do. I do. So I think. I mean, I got that written down. I want to go check out the other side of the temple where the pews and the statue were, and kind of similar to the old temple. I mean, I at this point I have a feeling that we need to be in here, but I feel I'd be dumb not to just go check it out and make sure there's not like obvious stair set behind the statue like the first temple.
Yeah, you guys move back into the front part of this temple. Make a investigation check.
Aye, look at all those pews.
18.
With an 18, you're really not gleaning anything other than what I described initially. It's a short area. It's a small temple, so a short front area that has some left-facing pews towards that painting with a small offering bowl, and then that gives away in the back of the temple to the library section that you were just in.
Okay, and I'm going to sit on a pew and I want to reflect this high moon. I know that you know what? We have the map, and I know that there's a beach. So that's definitely a thing. Yeah, I think at this point, it's probably like midday at best.
Yeah, around then. 12, maybe 12:31.
Bojack, I don't really want to go stand in the rain waiting for Elliot to open up some magic door for us. So how about we go get a drink?
Aye, sounds lovely.
Yeah, and I'm gonna get the walk out and out of there. And there's still no one there? There's just no one, huh?
Nobody. As you emerge back into the streets, you do see like a regular rotation of the guards that you saw the first time you visited the Tablets of Fate that seem to be pretty heavily patrolling this area specifically, but none of them have entered the temple. And again, the streets are pretty sparse today because it is pouring down rain.
Sick, I'm gonna fill up my hood and...
You see a few people that look like they're, attending to necessary business, but not a lot of, people that seem like they're just out shopping or, showing their children around or whatever recreational activities may exist here.
Sick. I'm gonna put up my hood and we're gonna go to the tavern. Back to the tavern, right? Bojack, do you have anything you want to do?
Not until later tonight when I need to meet up with Damian and we need to go kill that hoity-toity elf fuck.
Oh, are you coming with us?
Hell yeah, nobody disrespects me and my bros when he gets away with it. He owes at least 5 fingers from each hand. AKA all his fingers.
I think I'm the only one you've punched at this point. And a tree.
I mean, you gotta do something for the group.
Punching me in a tree? Okay.
No, not you, the other guy, the damn elf.
As the two of you make your way, are you headed back to the tavern that you got your information from this morning?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys make your way north back through the castle ward, the rain falling down towards the Duke's Ledger. We have Damian just walking up back into the city of the High Moon at the East Gates, pretty close to where Timber and Elliot are making their way to the tavern here in the Elven Gardens, and that is where we're going to end tonight's episode.
All right.
Good game.
Good game.
Nice. Some stuff. Got some stuff to do.
Alrighty, that's going to do it for tonight's episode of The Black Hand of Fate. Thank you so much for watching. One more reminder, just check us out at Side21 TV on socials, Instagram, TikTok and Blue Sky. Join up on that Discord server, and we will see you next time on Side 21. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you.